Comedy Film Festival Fall 2022 coming up in November at the Clinton Street Theater. We're looking forward to watching all kinds of comedy films that are 30 minutes or less. We show everything from music videos to comedy series pilots to dark comedy, animated comedy, horror comedy, mockumentaries, just about any type of film that you can think of that's 30 minutes or less that is meant to make you laugh from independent filmmakers from all over the world. I hope you come join us. It's going to be a fun time. We've got someone coming from very far away from Toronto. I learned how to say that. It's not Toronto, everyone. It's Toronto. And that's
Exactly.
Jason Speir, director, coming down, nominated for the Best International Film Award. His film is I'm Not a Robot. Thank you, Jason, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Thanks for this opportunity and taking the time to do this interview. It's really awesome. The Portland Comedy Film Festival will be the American premiere of I'm Not a Robot and the first time that the film's traveling outside of Canada. So thank you very much.
Well, that's what I like to hear. We love Canadian films, have a long history of doing very, very well in our festivals, and not just in Portland, but all over in Austin, Houston, and everywhere else. There's something about Canadians that have just a thing, just comedy just resonates with our judges, and just a fun vibe. And just thanks for joining us at the event. Thanks for coming down and making the trip, because it's like Canadians bring like the certain, joyful, I'm happy to be there thing. And the judges really respect your work. It's rated very well. And we're just honored to have you.
Yeah, thank you. We're really looking forward to it.
Well, I don't want to give away the synopsis of your film, so I'll let you go ahead and put it in your own words. Please tell us, what is this film about?
Yeah, I'm Not a Robot is about a guy who, after failing an online CAPTCHA test, faces an existential crisis when he believes he might actually be a robot. It's an outrageous sci-fi adjacent comedy.
Nice. And so creatively, I mean, I love sci-fi, but creatively, why did you want to create this film?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of based on a true story. Uh, when my fiance and I were living in Sydney, Australia, I was trying to book us flights back to Canada, and in order to log into the website, I had to pass a CAPTCHA test. Select all the mountains, street lights, bicycles, you name it, and I kept failing. And then I just had the thought, I wonder if this website actually thinks I'm a bot. And from there, the script more or less wrote itself. I love comedies that take ridiculous situations way too seriously and way too far. And as a sci-fi fan, the kind of parodies of stories like Ex Machina and Westworld came really naturally into that and fit together.
Yeah, good selections. I like it. I love the whole AI angle too. Um, I know that when I watched the first Terminator film, I was like hooked on sci-fi. Like that was it, and
Oh yeah.
that's even though that film was kind of like a horror film, but whatever, it's
Yeah.
still, it kind of gets you into it. But so based on just your whole experience, I feel like every film is a little piece of film school. What did you learn from
For
this
sure.
film?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. This one we had a bit of like VFX in it, so that was kind of a fun experience for this film. So when we were shooting, Tony, our lead actor, he was working on a blue screen laptop, and we added all of the CAPTCHA stuff in post. So first, he did a great job, obviously, of reacting to things that weren't actually on the screen. But he also improvised a ton of lines, and he kind of calls it his mumble comedy. He just kind of under the breath, just delivering all these jokes. And we had really long takes of him just kind of riffing and making all these little suggestions and jokes about what he's seeing with these CAPTCHA tests. So the kind of fun thing with this film is that we spend a decent amount of time on the laptop screen, so we could steal our favorite jokes from different takes of his and use them when Tony's off camera, because the plate shots of the blue screen laptop don't have any audio associated with them.
Mm.
So it gave us like a lot of creative freedom to really ramp up the joke density and pack in as many of our favorite funny lines as possible. So there are all these little great moments and lines that he had. All of a sudden I could use those jokes when we're on the laptop screen and just really kind of pack in as many of them as possible. So that was kind of a fun little, way of cheating and stealing some really funny lines and getting to use them and really just increase the density of the jokes that we had in the film.
That's an excellent technique. I like that. Good stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the continuity or, him like, you're like, oh, you have to cut between something because we're just kind of stealing the audio. And I know you as an audio guy can probably appreciate that as well.
That's right, man. Those are the tricks we do in post and in production. Apparently, you used it. So, man, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, what do you have planned? What's next for you guys? What's the future like as far as your film career is concerned? What do you have anything in development?
Yeah, so I'm also I'm a writer, but I'm also a partner at an independent production company in Toronto, called
Mm,
Heist Films, and it's
mm.
spelled HYST, and it stands for Have You Seen These Films? And so I write a lot of stuff, and we produce stuff together under Heist. In the near future, we're finishing a short film slash proof of concept pilot episode for a sitcom called Baby Daddy. We're pitching another sitcom that I wrote about an immersive escape room called The Great Escape. And that's also with Tony, our lead actor from I'm Not a Robot. And we have a few other series and short films kind of in different stages of development and pitching right now.
All right, good stuff. Well, it's cool to hear what you're working on. I'm sure your team is going to put together some good new projects. So it's exciting. Hopefully, we'll see you at a future event.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'd love to submit and come back 100%.
Is there anything you want to add before we go?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank the judges in Oregon for the selection. I'd like to thank you, Michael, as well for all of your work, doing this interview and organizing the festival. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
It's one thing to kind of receive recognition in local festivals up here, but it means a lot to be selected and nominated for an award outside of our home country. I've been to Portland once before and I loved it. And I have another reason to come back and love it even more now. So, thank you and all the judges in Oregon.
Thanks, and appreciate the kind words. And hey, we appreciate you as a filmmaker and what you've done. You earned it. Very high reviews on this, and you got a bright future. I hope we see a lot more of your films in the future. All right, my man.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Have a good one. Take it.